We're doing like
Okay. Hello. Welcome again to the Tesla Talks podcast. This is episode 6. Can you believe episode 6 already, guys? Time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. We have our regular, and I know I say regular, and I feel bad when I say regular guys, or you can say incumbents and stuff like that. And I will get to these guys in a second. But we have a special guest of the week. Try to get a special guest in every week. Don't get too used to it, folks, because some weeks we may not. So I apologize for that. But this week we got an exciting guest. I don't know if you recognize him, and you can see by the labels on the bottom and stuff like that. We have the famous Twitter king, Earl of Frunk Puppy, on our podcast today. Hey, Earl, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's nice to be here finally.
Oh, yeah, no, once again, I have to thank Franklin for hooking this up. Apparently you and Franklin are good friends. We've never met. We've spoken online a few times and stuff like that. Back and forth and on Twitter and stuff like that, but we've never officially met. So it's actually great to put an actual face to the name and vice versa. And I'm glad you could take your time, just like all these guys too. And I say it every week, take the time to join us on this podcast. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate, I'm currently overseas and I feel like I'm remembered over here.
And that's the other
people. It's nice.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You're overseas, and there's a time difference. We're going to get to that in a second, and
all right.
Get to know you a little bit better. But before that, I want to introduce our, like I said earlier, our incumbents. We'll start with the top and work our way down. Franklin, Mother Frunker, nice to meet you again.
Always, yeah. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited because we have Earl today.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, you sound excited.
Yeah, thanks for putting that together.
Sorry.
Speaking of sounding, the Tesla Backseatballer, Mark, thanks for gracing us with your presence again this week. It's been a few weeks. Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
A minute. I'm like, man, it's been episode 2 or 3.
Yeah. Are you keeping count? Keeping score here? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You sound like you're taking it personally. No, thanks for guys. Thank everyone for joining us. And like I said before, we all have busy lives. We all have busy schedules and stuff like that. And for you guys to take your personal time out of your family life and personal life and stuff like that really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. I don't want to get teary-eyed and sad about it, but I appreciate it.
Can we talk about Earl for a second and what it took for him to get here?
Yeah. Earl.
So yesterday, I messaged Earl. Well, Earl messaged me. He's like, we good for tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. And when he said tomorrow, his tomorrow, our tomorrow was different tomorrows. So Earl was actually up 24 hours ago at 5 a.m.
Exactly.
Here, and I feel so bad about that.
Are we about ready?
Yeah.
Like, no, I meant tomorrow. Tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Well, let me just tell everyone at home before we go any further. We're recording this right now here in Canada for the three of us Canadians. It is Tuesday, March 3rd at 10:22 p.m. Earl, what day and time is it there?
So yeah, it's Wednesday at 5:22 p.m. So.
Wow. Once again, another appreciative. I know I sound like a broken record, but appreciate anyone waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be on a silly little podcast like this. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And sorry about the mix up yesterday with the time zones and everything like that.
No worries. I'm usually up early anyway, so not that early, but
yeah, I hear you. So before we get into all the stuff, the Tesla stuff that we're here all to listen about, like I did last week with Chris, Dirty Tesla, I'm going to take a couple minutes, just a few minutes to get to know our special guest, Earl. Earl, what can you tell us about yourself? Just the basic stuff. Where are you from? Stuff like that.
Yes, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. And I'm currently a psychologist. I'd share this stuff online, but I'm in the military, currently overseas, which you never know where you're going to go. And a lot of places don't really have Wi-Fi or internet. So I'd sent a message on Twitter about, I just didn't know if I'd be online. But luckily here they do have great internet. So I've been able to keep in touch with family and, chat with folks back home. And of course, still be on Twitter, so that's good.
That's awesome. First and
Yeah.
foremost, thank you very much for your service. Appreciate
Thanks.
that, and thank you very much for the awesome, internet. Like for you being wherever you are with that time difference, yeah, the internet is you're coming in crystal clear, sound and video.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Great.
make out your shirt very well. It's a cool shirt.
Yeah, test letter. Thanks. I sent this over here.
Cool. So you're originally from, sorry, you said
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. You know what? Last week I drove through Pennsylvania. Beautiful state. We were on our way down from Toronto all the way down to Florida, and we went through Pennsylvania. Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful state. Yeah.
It's nice. There's a lot of great scenery there. They have Philly on the east and Pittsburgh on the west, and they call it Pennsyltucky in the middle, which is very rural. And that's where I'm from.
Yeah. That's awesome. And okay, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way here. Frunk Puppy, where did that come from?
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of a sad story. So
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
Oh no, it's good. In 2018, my wife had a brain hemorrhage. She had a basilar aneurysm hemorrhage, so subarachnoid hemorrhage. So if you know what that is, it's the widowmaker. A lot of people don't really live through it, but unexpected, happened at the gym. So don't go to the gym. And she recovered, but it's a long process. So I had, been on Twitter at the time, and while she was recovering, I didn't sleep much. I was up a lot at night, and Twitter is always awake. And so a good distraction was, kind of coming up with things, tweeting about things. And it was somewhere along that time that I had this idea about putting the dog in the frunk of the car, and I came up with the word. So one of my trips home, I put Norman in the car and posted it with the hashtag. And at first it didn't catch on too much. I just, if you follow my account, I'm pretty annoying and pretty persistent. So I kept at it and I kept tweeting about it. And Trevor, actually, Model 3 owners, or what is it, Tesla owners online.
Yep.
He posted one with his cat, Nutmeg. And that was kind of a big deal because his audience is huge. And then it started to get a little bit of traction, and people started to post these things online. So it was great for me during that time because it was, one of the annoying things about Tesla Twitter is it's full of just annoying people that don't like Tesla for whatever reason, that spend their day talking about not liking Tesla. If you post something about your car, they're going to show up and just tell you that it's awful, and that's their job, I guess. But instead of that, it was puppies and people putting animals in their trucks, and just great pictures. So I really liked it a lot, and it took off. And that was in the summer, July, August 18. And then by October, May Musk did put her dog in the frunk of the car. So awesome. then it was just, it was crazy after that. There were just pictures all over the place, international pictures. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It's China, Taiwan, all over Europe, like these people all putting the dogs in their frunks, which just makes me, it just really made me laugh at the time.
That's great.
So that's kind of how it started. And when I first started my account, I didn't really expect to use it very much. So I have like a weird Twitter handle, 28 delays later. It's just didn't put a lot of thought into it. But when I got my car in May of 18, I took a little video of Summon parking in my garage and shutting the door. And Elon had retweeted that with a comment. So I was pretty new to Twitter, and I didn't really know how special that was because he doesn't, it's hard to get him to respond in some way. And then I started to get.
Yeah,
what's that?
I said it's funny coming from you because he retweets your stuff and comes to you all the time. He misses you.
I know he did. I have that on a mug. but Yeah, so I got more followers, and then I got into it, and then I posted the video of Norman driving the car, which you've probably seen a few times, and so it kind of took off from there, but it became a good thing, is kind of going through things in life. But yeah, so that's kind of a little background there.
Awesome. Well, that's amazing that you took the beginning of the story where it was a little sobering and a little sad, and it worried me for a second because I'm like, oh, did I ask the wrong question? And you turned it into a happy ending. That's great.
What point, Earl, did you start spamming people on Twitter with your referral code? Like, where did that fall into place?
Let's see. I got my car May 30th, I think, and probably, I don't know, but definitely by June 2nd.
Really? You got your car May 30th?
I think it was May 29th, 18. It was somewhere around there.
Okay, I got
the same day as Tesla Tino.
Okay, I got mine May 30th, and I thought maybe we had a special thing going there. So maybe we don't.
Check. I don't remember if it was the 29th or 30th, but it's right around there.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
You know, the cars were, there weren't many of them around at that time, especially I live in Ohio now. And so people would always stop me and just ask about the car. What was it? You know, how do you drive it and charge it and all that stuff. So
yeah,
which I'm not happy to talk about. I'm like, well, you're coming up to the wrong person.
Yeah, you got 3 hours.
All about my car.
You're not leaving. I have to tell you everything.
You asked. You're not leaving. Now, speaking of your car, what can you tell me what trim of the Model 3 you have? And
I have the long range rear wheel drive. It's black, and I have the black interior. My plan was to wait for the white interior and all wheel drive. Yeah, but I got the invitation, and I lasted 7 days before I ordered it.
Oh, you lasted longer than me, buddy. That's pretty good.
How long were you back?
Mostly.
Sorry?
How long did you last?
Well, you know, I didn't last long at all. But like I said in one of my previous podcasts, I didn't last long only because I wanted exactly like you. I wanted a different color. Well, the color really didn't matter. I had a choice. But I wanted the all-wheel drive. But with the situation, I guess the government situation here in Ontario, knowing that we had a substantial rebate that was potentially in jeopardy, I didn't want to take a chance. So I forgone the all-wheel drive and went for the rebate because I didn't want to lose that. And it turned out great because I don't regret it for a second.
Mark, how about yourself? How long did it take you to put the order through when you got like the confirmation?
Oh, I actually was not one of the first. It was in October.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just mute him, and
just
three of us will talk.
It's appropriate. I'm clearly not a fan.
When I received my email, I'm not joking. I had like my delivery back to them within like 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
wow.
I dropped everything. I'm like, all right, time to order the car.
Yep, that's how it is.
And mine was 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah, October 13th, I placed the order, like hit the buy button, and October 20th, I got the car.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So you got your car the last, I guess, out of the four of us, but you probably have, I'm assuming still, you have the most mileage. I was going to ask Earl. Earl, how many miles do you have on yours? If you don't mind telling.
I have about 30,000, and then my wife probably has another 5,000. So
yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Now. Well, she's stolen it since I'm gone. She changed the name of it and everything. So.
Oh.
Well, now
it's just called Lindsay's Buddy is what she named it. And it used to be Frunk Hopper, and I opened the app one day. I'm like, what is this? Where's my car? It's good though. I'm glad she's using it. But.
Yeah, it is good because the cars are amazing, as we all know. Okay, well, thanks for just getting us up to speed and telling us a little bit about yourselves. I appreciate it, and once again, I appreciate you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. We're gonna get to, unless you guys, Franklin or Mark, have any more questions for Earl. We're gonna get right into the news and topics and stuff like that.
One last question. Okay.
Yeah.
What app do you use to edit all your photos?
Oh, the photo. I think it's Adobe Photo something.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
Why is that? Why is that
Have
important?
you not seen? He's like a legend with photo editing.
Yeah. I thought there was I thought there was like an
That's okay.
inside story for that or something.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
No, legend of being really bad,
Yeah.
but I had I forget who it was. On one day somebody reached out on me on Twitter and sent me a video of like how to use a photo editing app just step by step. So I downloaded this and it definitely helped, but you know, it's
No,
fun.
stick with what you're good at. And you have like a good niche. Okay, you want to get going with the topics, Dax?
Yeah. Well, speaking of photos and editing and everything, the picture behind you is one of Earl's pictures with his car and his dogs. Am I correct in that? Yeah. What are your dogs' names?
So Norton, yep, that's Wilson on the left. Well, I don't know what direction's what when you're podcasting, but
Yeah.
yes, Wilson, and
Yes.
the other one is Norman, who Norman's a little more famous, but Wilson's a much better dog. Norman's a jerk. But we love him.
Well, when I had my dog would not have fit into Frunk. He was a big golden retriever, and he was too big. Nor do I think he would have actually sat in the trunk for a photo.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you see a lot of these cute photos, and people think it's easy, and then they give it a try, and then, I mean, it's amazing what people pull off. They have dogs, cats, whole sceneries in there. I don't know how they do it. I can barely get mine in there for a second, take a picture. But
yeah,
I spent way too much time trying to win Frunk Puppy contests. Like
that's just not true. That's impossible to do.
So, like, every single photo I've ever submitted has made it to the top 4.
Yeah.
So
and you won a couple times, right?
Yeah, I have. But, like, I'm not joking. I'll sit there and I'll be like, wait, I have a brilliant idea. I'm going to win. And I don't. So it's just disappointing. But it's a lot of fun just to take the photo, right? And
yeah,
my dogs love it, right? No, they don't.
No, we think our dogs love things we do to our dogs, but they actually don't. Yeah.
Speaking of photos, Model Y interior pictures.
Yes. Okay. Before we get to that, speaking of photos, for people that are listening to this podcast on the audio stream, which you can at any time. I mean, like I said last week, it's best to do it on YouTube because you get to be interactive and see what we're talking about. But if you just want to listen to it in your car and stuff like that, of course, it's available on TuneIn Radio and Apple Podcasts. So you can listen to it and take it wherever you go. And I apologize. Last week we had fun with Dirty Tesla. It was almost 2 hours long. This week I'm promised that I'm going to try to keep it within an 1 hour window because it's a lot more manageable for everyone to listen to and everything like that. So we're going to try to. So we might rush through the news a little bit and the questions. I apologize for that. But I wanted to take some time to talk to Earl and stuff like that and get to know him and stuff like that because it's not every day we get these guys on. But yes, so if you are watching it on YouTube, of course, you'll get to see the pictures that we're talking about and stuff like that. If you have any questions, we're going to do the questions just like we did last week at the end of the show. If you have any questions, like I said, you can leave them at any of the social media platforms that I'm on or any of these guys are on, and just mention that it's a Tesla Talks podcast question, or you can email me directly at teslatalksquestions@gmail.com. That email is set up for strictly just questions. And you know what? What I'm going to do this week is add a little flair, something a little different. If you guys want to be, I guess, famous for 5 minutes or 15 minutes of fame or something like that, what you can also do is do a pre-recorded voice question. Yeah, just like Ride the Lightning, just like Ryan. Thanks for the idea, Ryan. I'm going to steal it. I hope you don't mind. So a voice recorded question, if you want to do it, it'll be a lot quicker rather than me stumble across reading all the stuff. You can leave that and just email me the audio clip to teslatalksquestions@gmail.com. Okay, I've got the housekeeping out of the way. We've got to get that done. And now we can start with the topics. So what were you saying for the first topic there, Franklin?
Model Y interior.
Yes, Model Y interior. I'm just pulling it up here. There's so much talk about the Model Y and excitement. Every week you think the excitement's getting bigger and bigger and it can't get any bigger than that, but it actually is. And we've actually got some good interior shots. I mean, we've got lots of people taking videos of it going by on the highway, the prototype or whatever it's called. We've actually seen them in superchargers, people taking out exterior photos and everything, but we've never really seen too much of the interior. But this week, who was it? It was a guy named, I'm going to scroll down, I think it was Mr. Lee on Twitter. He was able to get in there and take some, Mr. Lee Tesla. And I'm going to pull up some of these pictures here. You guys want to, while I'm pulling these up, do you guys want to comment on any of these interior shots? Anything that you guys found surprising?
Is it just me, or is the screen tilted a little bit more than in our Model 3s, or is it just the angle of the picture?
No, I don't know. It could be the angle. Let me just pull some up here.
It looks like it's actually tilted a little bit more back, so it's more up into your face instead of more flat.
It definitely is tilted from the image that was shared.
Okay.
Whether that's final production, I don't know, but
that's one of the definitely first things that I see.
Here are some of the pictures here. You're talking about the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get out of this one for now.
And the other thing too is, I don't know if we're looking at the same photo here because Dax doesn't have it up yet, but sorry, Dax.
I'm talking about the very first one on the Tesla Roddy.
Yeah, it's the one that has all the tape, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's trying to pull it up.
I think they're trying to hide the center console because they know the piano black wasn't good.
Yes.
They probably made it shinier.
Yes. You mean this picture right here, right? That's what you guys are talking about?
No, look at the car. It has all of the plastic. Look on the sun visors, everything. So they're not trying to cover. It's the way the car ships.
You know what, Mark? Way to ruin a joke. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. No. You know what?
If you want to keep the joke, you gotta keep me in the loop, right?
Somebody did say that it is surprising that Tesla, knowing, I'm sure whether they listen to podcasts or YouTube or see YouTube videos or just feedback from customers, they had to have known or had to heard that this piano black center console is not favorable with people, but yet, yeah, unless it's a surprise, and it isn't. And that, like you said, Franklin, they've covered it up for an ultimate surprise. But
$5.
I'm not betting you.
I'm putting $5 right now. Canadian, by the way, Earl. So sorry.
That's like $1 for you. That's like
going back to the front, you look at everything, exactly what they said. What, 75%, 80% is the Model 3?
Yeah. Here's a good shot. And once again, folks, I'm sorry if you're listening to this on audio. I'll try to be descriptive as I can. And Earl, don't be shy. Feel free to jump in whenever you want, but don't feel that you have to comment either. It's just we're all cut me off at any time, like Franklin's doing right now. Cut me off at any time. But this shot right here that we're looking at, that was taken by Mr. Lee Tesla, is basically from the top of the windshield down, and it's definitely like a wide angle shot. You can see the steering wheel, all the front seats, and you get to see that piano black center console covered up. And is this what you're talking about, where I'm putting my cursor over, Mark, that the screen looks tilted a little bit?
It just, I mean, even if you look at the other picture, that's what I mean. Like if you go back to the very top of this one, it just looks a little. Again, I could be wrong. It could be the way the photo's taken, but it looks a little bit more tilted in.
Well,
maybe from the back.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did learn something from Matt from Tech Forum, how he made those custom mounts.
Well, he's got it tilted towards the driver, which again, they never intended that because they're thinking robo-taxi, so it's got to be straight so all passengers can view it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying in this picture right here, how it looks like it's angled up. That I'm gonna assume, and maybe I'll lose $5, but I'm gonna assume that that's just a distortion from the corners of the wide angle lens. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So no, my $5 was the piano black.
Stop. You don't get to pick where your $5 goes. There's one picture I'm going to look for, not Jack Nicholson. I apologize for that. There's a picture here I'm trying to find that shows the seats that are on risers. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm assuming you guys have seen all these pictures before, right? Maybe
I've
does.
seen them. Is it just me? Or I feel like the back seat that middle part looks bigger than in my car, but that I assume is impossible, right? Because it would be
Yeah,
the same
you're talking about like where you
dimensions as
put
the
your
Y.
bum, right? The bum part looks like it's actually going up, right? Like cushioning.
Well, no, the actual center part. Like if you had three people, like the middle seat person, that part looks bigger to me, but
Like wider?
wider.
Wide. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? It very well could be. I've listened to so many different podcasts and people talking in YouTube videos this week about the Model Y and these interior shots that I apologize, I can't remember who mentioned it, but someone said that they spoke to a quote unquote inside worker at Tesla, and that person said when you're in the back seat, even though the dimensions are the same as the three, it feels wider in the Y, but it feels shorter than the 3, like in length. So I don't know if that's just an illusion or if they actually were able to somehow make it wider, or it could also be, that panoramic glass. May be doing it.
So the other thing that came out for the interior, which I'm very excited about, is USB-C.
Yes. I'm looking for that picture right here. Yeah, right here.
Okay, so yeah, it's USB-C.
You can't really tell, but oh yeah.
You can kind of tell.
So yeah, that's definitely USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A's are a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Which is a huge, that's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
And
that tells me they're listening.
And somebody also mentioned, I don't know, about the back seats recline.
Well, yeah, and anything that has a hatchback or a third row, usually the center seats, the second row, will usually recline. So yeah, it is different than the 3. Yeah. And in the same picture, there's another one where it shows the molded carpet, and I can't find that picture right now. It's a different set of pictures. It's not from Mr. Lee Tesla, but in this picture here, you can see sort of where I'm putting my cursor. You can see how the seats are raised they're sitting on risers as opposed to flatter, like on the Model 3.
Yeah, because it makes.
Yeah, I feel my seat's all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah. And the other picture I want, before we get off this topic on the interior, one picture I want to show everyone is this one right here, and what everyone is talking about. Oh, also, before we move on to that, you notice as I put the cursor over here on the second row seating, each seat individually goes down and it splits into 3 segments. So the center armrest or cup holder is one segment, and then the 2 left and right are separate segments. So basically, once again, Tesla's learned you can actually keep those 2 back seats up and have that third armrest or that center armrest go down, and for skis or 2x4s or whatever you want to put in there that's elongated, you can put in the center now and not have to worry.
So if you're Brian,
you can actually notice it from the other picture too, Dax.
Oh yeah,
this one you can see the clips in there.
So if you're Brian and you see the 3 seats like this, are you happy or sad? Because he cut his open, right?
Right there.
Yes, you're right. I would say Franklin, Brian would be actually quite pleased because it's something that was probably needed and probably easily done. But yeah, that's Brian, right? Brian likes to tinker, and that's why we love him so much, because he's brave enough to do something that we would only think of doing, but don't have the balls to do it.
Pretty much, yeah. That's fair to say.
Yeah, but in this last picture, I'm going to zoom in. You're going to lose resolution really bad. But what I want to do is zoom in and show you 2 things in this picture here. Now, for people at home or listening on the audio, I'm showing the back seat. Actually, the back trunk area.
You keep saying back seat. I love it.
Yeah, sorry. I know I'm referring to you. No, the back trunk area, and off to the left-hand side where that cubby hole is on our Model 3s is another cubby hole, but this one seems to be, for one, bigger and higher, and there is what appears to be a 12-volt outlet, and that's one thing that was missing that I was really disappointed and a little bit surprised that they didn't put in the Model 3, because most cars, whether it's a sedan or not, most cars will have some kind of 12-volt power supply in the back, and the Model 3 didn't. And it's good to see the Model Y. It looks like it appears that it will have it. And then right on top, over that, I guess, that cubby hole on the left-hand side, we see what appears to be 2 buttons. And the rumor was that these center row seats, the second row seats, they were not automatic, I guess, or just electronic or motorized seats that fold down at a press of a button. So I think these, I'm assuming, and many other people are assuming, that these are the buttons to fold those seats down, so you don't have to actually do it. I guess you could do it manually from the back seat, but I said it again, Mark, and I called you Paul there too.
Yeah, call Paul too. Yeah, because if you look on the back seats, it actually has the handles to pull it down too.
Manually, yep, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so that's why I don't know if it is a button for that.
Well, someone said it's a button to lay them flat for them to go down, fold down, but the button, if pressed, won't bring them back up. You'll have to manually bring them up when you're ready to reset them. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be
and the speaker placement.
Yeah, that woofer. It looks
no,
like
I'm talking about if you go back to the back seat in the middle. Yeah, the speaker, you see it's kind of higher. Our speakers in the back are in the bottom.
Well, yeah. You know what? I've never been in the back seat of my car for more than for more than maybe 2 minutes. And
sorry.
I know where you're going with that one. Let's move on before we take this show in the wrong direction. So anyways, that's anyone's got comments about the interior of the Model Y?
Again, if you're looking at, sorry, go ahead, Earl.
Well, I was just gonna say, not to sound like the fudsters here, but I still don't understand how a third row seat fits in there.
Well, yeah,
the pictures. I'm sure it does somehow, but I can't understand the physics of it. But
it's gonna be for very short, small people.
Yeah, which is perfect. Which is what I would want it for. Like, my daughters can fit in the back, I'm sure. But
for now,
curious.
But for how many years? Yeah, that's it. Like, what, 2 years?
Yeah, they're pretty small.
You're gonna have to push their late.
We don't feed them. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that solves that.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, going back to the back seats, if you look at it, they seem to be a little deeper for the left and the right, so your bum would sit in more. But the middle one has that hump going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now moving on. Now we're finished with the Model Y, I guess. One thing I just noticed, we didn't talk much. I don't think we have any topics or much news this week about Cybertruck. Anyways, did you guys hear? It was today or yesterday. Elon was tweeting about reverse summons. Did you guys? Was I the only one that heard that?
No,
reverse summon. Reverse summon. Yeah, I think it came out. Yeah, or somebody. There was a tweet, and I'll scroll down.
A day or two ago. Yeah, it was not.
I'll scroll down right here. So this person.
I was excited when I saw that.
Now this article, I forgot to mention. The last article was from Teslarati, and this one is.
I did it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I had you.
Did you? Okay, but this was a tweet put out by Anna J. Bonilla, and they asked, when can we see reverse summon in beta? So I must have missed it. The term reverse summon, I never heard it before, but by this person knowing the term and Elon knowing what they meant, it must be a thing. Yeah, you're right. This was on March 1st, so 2 days ago. And Elon responded, we need to finish work on Autopilot core foundation code and 3D labeling, and then the functionality will happen quickly, not long now. So reverse summon. Now, no one went into detail about what it is, but let me get your opinions, guys. What do you think reverse summon is?
Yeah, I think that's the so you get out of the car, and then it goes and finds a spot for you and parks.
Okay.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of smart summon. So
Yeah, smart.
bleeding
Sorry.
through. It's like you have smart summon, which will come and pick you up. It's the reverse of that, basically. I think I'm with Earl.
Yeah, and it drives backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be great.
It summons.
There's a really cool feature. I don't remember who. So basically, you start the recording from wherever you are, and it'll memorize your exact driving path, and then it can replay that, but in reverse. So, like, say you're driving up into your driveway and you get like a really sharp turn, and you turn into it, you can actually play it in reverse, and your car will do everything you did, but in reverse order.
And this is a Tesla?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
But I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah,
that's just
great.
like mapping. That's like I know drones do that. You can like
It's not a
map
complex thing.
map out a
Pull
yeah.
it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
not what he's talking about, but I just thought it was interesting.
No. I think Mark, you agree with these two guys? That's probably
Yeah,
reverse.
that's why I was cutting off Franklin. I'm like, he's got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the exact reverse. That's why they're calling it reverse summon, because summon is come to you, and now reverse is go from me. Find that parking spot while I go do shopping.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Now, I think I mentioned this before to you guys. I'm excited about it, but will I ever use it? Because I don't know about you guys. You tell me. I think you guys have mentioned it to me. But Earl, you tell me. Are you like me? Are you really picky about where you park?
Oh yeah, I'm really far away. Yep.
Yeah. So for me, unless there's some setting in the summon subsetting or whatever that I could say, yeah, when you drop me off, park as far away as you can with a certain amount of spots in between, or even if you can find a parking spot near a curb, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
So you want loner mode?
A loner. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
loner mode.
You want to be a loner. You want to be loner mode. Like, be by yourself.
Or maybe.
Yeah, but smart summon only works within 60 meters, 200 feet anyway. So if any further than that, then it defeats the point of actually having it for what it's for.
Yeah.
All I have to say.
It's gonna have to be able to detect things like that. Like if certain cars seem to have a lot of dents on them, don't park by that one. There's a lot of things you need to consider.
Yeah, it'll use its the pothole detection in conjunction with the door ding detection.
So I know the answer. So Dax uses it, but not that often. Mark and I use it obsessively. Earl, how much do you smart summon?
Not very often. Okay. No.
That's
I feel like I'm most of the way to the car before I can use it. But I did have a couple times where it came in really handy when it was raining out and I had the car come and pick me up. But otherwise, I haven't really used it too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna use it today in the rain too, and someone told me not to, and I just ended up walking. It wasn't far, but I'm starting to use it more and more now. I know you guys. You guys use
Dax,
it.
you know, Dax, you could actually do instead of just sitting in the point, start walking to it and have it come to you.
Well,
use that option, right?
And that's what I did. Oh, you know what? It's a funny thing because I didn't elaborate on the story I just said, but basically that's what I did, and I wish I had it for this car. I wish I knew this conversation was going in this direction, because I actually, when I got in the car, I actually saved the in-car video, because when I was walking up to it and it was driving up to me, I got up to the front and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to stop because it's going to, the sensors are going to detect me and it's going to stop. And it nearly hit me. Like, it nearly hit me. If I didn't jump out of the way, it would have hit me. So
no,
buddy, I'll show you. I recorded it. I pressed the save button. I'll show it to you. It nearly hit me. If I didn't jump out of the way, it would have kept going. But I was fully expecting it to stop. You're disappointed it didn't hit me?
Never tries to hit me. No.
Yeah.
I try all the time. Like, to run myself over.
You know what it is? It's my car was mad at me today, but I left it in the rain for 12 hours unattended. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
they get pissy like that. They get moody.
I'm not joking. I use it in like the most extreme circumstances, where like it has a really tight, and I'm not like afraid. I'll hold the button down. Like, it's going through here. It's fine, right? As long as you don't have, like, it's really good around stationary objects. The only problem happens when you have humans that are driving around that are messing with it. But.
Yeah. Well, I had one near-death experience with it, with the curb and how it went up the curb there. That sort of made me a little gun shy about it.
You're helping.
When you were using some, did that?
Yeah. I was parked near a curb, and it went to turn into the curb, and it actually almost beached itself on the battery pack on the curb. if I wasn't paying attention. Yeah.
Oh, there's rocker
Was that-
panels for that reason. Don't worry.
Yeah, rocker panels. Exactly.
But you realize you're helping, right?
Was that
now?
early on? Or
Yeah.
Was that recent?
That was about 2 months ago, just after Christmas. Yeah, so just over 2 months ago. Yeah, it was. I was sad that it happened, but no major damage. I got the PPF on it, and it basically scratched the lower part of the PPF, and that's it. So anyway, so reverse summon. Now, do you guys think that it's going to come while we have, most of us still have this 2.5? Oh, by the way, Earl, do you have autopilot or FSD or anything like that?
I do.
You do?
Excuse me. I do have FSD, and my wife got a hardware 3.
Oh, while you're gone?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
really easy. I set it up on the app. She drove it down there. They gave her a Model X loaner, and then they. I live in Dayton, and the service center's down in Cincinnati, so it's about 45 minutes away. And then the next day, they dropped off the car at my house. So it couldn't be easier.
Wow, they dropped it off at your house.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm pretty famous.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and you're modest too. I love it. I love it. No, that's great. No, okay, so I guess it's just us measly Canadians, the majority of us, that are still waiting for it. So my question was, are they going to implement this in a software update before everyone has their FSD computers? Or like,
Yes.
do our
You think
two?
so?
Yeah, well, that's what my next question. Do you guys think that our 2.5 is able to run this?
No.
Because it's going to be using, I think what they said before, the 3D mapping, but I think that's kind of based on that, and that's why they need the 3.0 hardware.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listened to, or I watched Chris Dirty Tesla's YouTube video today, where he talked about them rewriting autopilot and FSD and stuff like that for 3.0, and his theory on why, and I completely agree with him on his theory on why we haven't seen any software updates like we usually do for a while. And I think he's bang on. They're busy rewriting, and they don't want to do anything. And I think we touched on this in last week's episode a little bit. They don't want to do anything and release anything until they've got this full self-driving. How did Elon term it? Full self. There was a
City driving.
Well, not the city driving, but he said feature complete. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything, I think, and release anything else until this whole feature complete thing gets worked on. So I think that might be the next big update, and I'm hoping we all get our hardware upgrade before then, because
Even if we get the hardware,
Well, it's a couple
we're not seeing
months.
the features.
well, it's gonna, and you know how it is for us in Canada. Earl's gonna be driving around, or his wife's gonna be driving around with stoplight and stop sign detection on full nav on autopilot on city streets, and we won't see that for months here in Canada.
I think that, like you were saying, we were kind of swimming in updates for a while there. It was just week after week getting new things, and then that's stopped. I think with them doing a lot of the hardware 3 upgrades now, that it is just paused until they can start to really use it now. I don't think they really were before, but I don't know anything about software.
Well, it's what's more important right now, right? Is getting everybody to 3.0 software.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I think also they came up now with the upgrade from the 1.0 to the 2.5 on the Model X's and S's.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about that right now then. Yeah, that's our other topic we were going to talk about. Maybe you can sort of bring that up as I pull up the tab there, Mark.
Well, yeah, because again, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it kind of coincides with why do software update when they know they're going to be switching and going to everything. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the boosting displays.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about boosting. You're talking
Actually,
about.
No, actually the
actual
computer,
hardware.
the ones where the
Yeah.
1.0 computer for $2,500, it can be
Oh, yes.
upgraded to the 2.5.
Yes.
So
Yes, you're right.
which I assume that means they won't be able to go to the 3.0.
No, no. I do they will they be able to go to 3.0? No, probably not. But
Or else they would just say, hey, just take 3.0 computers in general.
yeah.
Wait, I'm
Like,
confused.
why?
So basically,
So
Tesla came out with an upgrade thing for everyone who's running before 2.5 to get an upgrade to 2.5. So, for example, Tesla, I've been back and forth with them. I've been trying to get my web app to work for older MCUs, and it's really difficult because of processing power. But basically, Tesla's going to actually upgrade, well, allow people to upgrade all the older cars. So they've tried for a very long time. It's like an ongoing thing because Elon tweeted about it like 6 months ago, and people went to Tesla like, "How do we get this upgrade?" And Tesla's like, "You can't do it," even though Elon said you could. So basically, they're going to be able to upgrade all the old hardware to new hardware, the old computers to the 2.5 computers.
But those are
yeah,
but those are two different things, I think. So you can get the MCU2,
yeah,
which runs faster and can do YouTube and all that stuff.
yeah.
But then they'll still get hardware 3.
You think?
Yeah, it's there were people saying that if you upgrade to MCU2, they'll do the hardware 3 at the same time. So it's a way to skip ahead in line a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So
But then why even bother saying 2.5 then? Why don't just say, hey, upgrade to the latest and greatest?
I think maybe they're doing that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Earl. They're saying that for people that maybe don't have FSD and they just want to go to 2.5 for the YouTube and Netflix. Could it be that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I do know that I definitely read that somebody had signed up to get their MCU2, and then they were going to do hardware 3 at the same time. But I'm not sure. I don't know about the 2. I don't know. It's a good point. I don't know why you would upgrade somebody from 2.0 to 2.5, or
Yeah.
it doesn't seems pointless.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I agree. It seems pointless, but you know, Tesla must have to put up with all these people bitching and complaining. I mean, getting back to this whole Model 3 thing with their hardware computer. I mean, yeah, if they were to release this reverse summon and people that have 2.5 can't use it, but have paid for FSD and it's just waiting for the computer, waiting for the parts, they'd lose their mind. I mean, look at the people right now. Like, I mean, all right now, it does for us is shows cones here in Canada. Down in the States, all it does is show the stop signs and stoplights. But if it was to do something more than that and you've paid for it, people will lose their minds. I mean, they just will.
Look, some people went crazy just not getting the hardware upgrade. They put it in their Twitter name.
Yeah.
I can't imagine people would do that.
Yeah.
I would unfriend. I would block those people. That's obnoxious.
See, now you know we're 48 minutes in. Now you know everyone's becoming comfortable with each other. The humor is coming out, and I love it. This is great chemistry. Yes. So reverse summon.
To what you're saying, the range. So they doing a software upgrade for the range as well.
Yes. Let's move on to the range. Yes.
Yeah. So it's really cool that they can do this, right? I still find it really fascinating.
No, but are they upgrading
is that
range?
Ravens or?
This is for the Ravens. This is something that, remember, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, when they had the earnings call and Elon said that the S's and X's can actually do more of the Raven engines than they're actually stating on the website, and they had to update the website. And then a couple weeks ago, they updated the website to reflect the new numbers. Well, what I think now they're doing, they put a software release, software update to show the display, whether it's in the car or on the app, to reflect what the car can truly do. I think that's what it is.
I think that's amazing. If you think about how big and heavy the Model X is, the range of 350 plus miles is just incredible, especially with other companies coming out with, just about 100 kilowatt batteries and just not getting anywhere close to that. That's amazing.
It is, because that thing's a giant pig. It's like, what?
It's a tank.
7,000 pounds or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
And, okay, we've all experienced it because of our trim level, but I still find it amazing that they're able to increase range through software.
Yeah. Well, some people would say that just goes to show you how much Tesla holds back in software or in reserve or to protect the pack. And I guess they're realizing with efficiencies and stuff like that they don't need to maybe protect that percentage or that much, and they're releasing it to us. And of course efficiencies in the controller and stuff like that too. I mean, it's great. I mean, what other car do you know? I know I'm going to get on my fanboy thing here, but what other car do you know, ICE car, that you buy and a year later, 2 years later, it gets better fuel economy? But no, you can't think of anything
faster too. I mean, my rear-wheel drive has had 2 bumps and speed too.
Yeah.
Went from 5.6 to 5.3, and now it's about 4.9 and 5.
That's wild.
It's amazing. And you know what? Don't be surprised if, I mean, I know us rear-wheel drive long-range people seem like we're the forgotten stepchild sometimes, but don't be surprised. No offense to any stepchildren out there, by the way, but don't be surprised if we get some kind of performance package that we can pay for, just like they did a little while ago with you pay $2,000 for the all-wheel drives or the performance.
No, they can't. Not for just the rear wheel. We're missing that second motor that helps.
Never say
I don't
never.
know. I check my app anyway. Do you guys check?
I know, me too.
Check my updates.
That's another $5.
Dax, if you need another motor, I know where to get one. I know where Mark lives.
Will his motor fit into my front? Oh, we'll try it anyways. Yeah.
No, the front's smaller.
Yeah, it's not my motor either.
It's not my motor. It's
mine. Yeah.
105,000 kilometers, or for Earl, 67,000 miles.
Buddy,
that could be anything.
Yeah. That's no problem. I have no problem with that. But speaking of performance and those little things that they keep doing, let's go on to our next story by Electric here. The Tesla Model 3 Performance with track upgrade package, which includes a lot of hardware, but also software too. And I think they just released a track pack update today for the performance guys. But this whole upgrade package, in this article here, it broke some Button Willow racetrack record. I don't even know where Button Willow is. I apologize to people.
Sounds like
Button
UK.
Willow. It does. Oh, who knows? I probably
California.
should have done my homework like Franklin's doing for me right now.
It's California.
I wasn't messing with Dax. I thought he actually knew.
Hey, listen, shouldn't Earl know? He's the American here. Come on, Earl.
Oh, that's true. I apologize. Is that why I'm on the show today?
we need
that token American.
We need to fill the American quota. Get the American viewers,
Well, our last 3 special guests have been American.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they know Button Willow?
No, Button Willow never came up. But you know what? I will say, out of Brian, Chris, and now Earl, not that we're hold on, let me go back to the camera because I can't even see your reactions here. I will say, not that we've been keeping track, Earl, but you have the least American accent of our 3. For whatever it's worth. You win the toaster. We're gonna mail you out a toaster. So getting back to
our sound like. Where am I from? Button Willow?
No, you just yeah, I don't know. Something tells me Button Willow, we're getting off the rails completely here.
What are you trying to say is we want you to become a Canadian? Like, you're welcome.
Oh, listen, anyone, and I did
take you up on that.
I didn't say it to Brian and I didn't say it to Chris and any future special guest that we have on our podcast that isn't from Canada, you're an honorary Canadian the minute you come on our show. Like you're more than welcome. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I was going to come on anyway, but this really helps.
He doesn't give a crap.
What am I looking
It was
Maple
faster
syrup.
than the Porsche 911 GT2, by the way.
Yes, it was. And that's where I
By
had that down there.
almost 5 seconds.
Oh, we're still talking Tesla? I thought we were talking about Canada now. Sorry, got a little bit.
The maple syrup, eh?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the maple syrup edited images now and going up on Twitter later today.
But that car there doesn't have the the new performance package, right? That they came out with.
That's what I'm looking for. I thought this article had the pictures of the brakes and the wheels. Let me come off this for a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'm gonna find that picture of those new wheels, those awesome wheels that are rumored to be the referral wheels.
They're supposed to be the referral wheels.
And if they are, I can't wait, because if one thing in life I got lucky on was those. Are you getting a set too, Earl?
Yeah, I'm getting a set. So
awesome.
The rumor is that some people are annoyed that they put them in the store before they gave them away as referral prizes, but that's just what I heard.
I think
so. It was the updated track mode V2, but not the performance package, where they did the different brakes and the brake fluid was different.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
but this was done by with SPO though.
SPO. It's been done by what? Sorry, Mark.
Team XPO. Basically, they're the ones that put the car together. So it is a performance upgraded car, but it's not the Tesla one that we're thinking about.
Okay.
Now, for people at home that can't see the wheels that we're looking at here in the YouTube feed, they are very. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Do you agree with me? They're very arachnid looking wheels.
Yeah.
They're like a 8-spoke type of thing. They look awesome. It's a star. It's a star. It's like a
star, like
spider,
like a star using them, right?
Yeah.
It's a Black Widow spider.
Really nice.
Do you guys like them?
Yes.
Oh, I love them. I think they're great. I hope they are the referral wheels, and I hope that I get them someday.
Yeah, and I hope we don't get them in November. That's all I have to say. Because, Tesla, how they can be sometimes. What was interesting, what I found interesting is Tesla, and this didn't leak at all. Tesla actually had YouTube celebrities, and it didn't seem like there were two Tesla-ish YouTube celebrities. There weren't Tesla influencers that came and did like a surprise race or test drive around a track. Like this one here I'm showing right here. This guy. I know you don't watch him, Franklin, but this guy's from Everything Apple Pro. I forget his name, but he's got a big, huge channel and a big, huge following, and he's got a Performance Model 3, and he puts it in his episodes every now and then.
So you said something important, actually.
Apple?
Tesla's content generally does not leak. Like, there's no real leaks for what Tesla releases generally. It's
amazing.
It is really, because think how big they are, and think of how big other tech companies run. And yes, I'm comparing them to a tech company because that's what they are.
Yep.
Tech companies get leaks all the time. Like, I can tell you about the new iPhone that's coming up. I can tell you about the new Pixel. We're talking months ahead of time. Meanwhile, Tesla keeps it all tight-lipped, and they do an excellent job with leaks. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Now, do you think that has to do maybe a little bit with where their research and development and their program is here stateside or here in North America, as opposed to in China? Because a lot of stuff, from what I understand, when it comes to Samsung and smartphones and Apple and everything, gets leaked because of the production line and their prototypes in China.
Well, we'll see, because they're going to have that design studio in China soon.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that leaks right away.
I like to believe that everyone
$5.
Wait.
American. I'm not taking it.
That's like
dollars.
15 Canadian guys. Think very carefully before you put your money down on this.
Yeah, that's a lot, Earl. Like,
That's a lot.
10
Can we
cents-
write-
That's a lot of
10
money.
cents US.
Can we? Do you take post-dated Canadian checks
Dude.
17 years from now.
in increments?
See, I think so. Going back to what we're saying, I think a lot of it has to do with Musk, because he's so on top of everything in terms of like every department that runs.
Exactly.
So you got to think that
No, I
plays a
think
factor.
even the staff are not in the know either. Unless you need to be in the know, and he knows that they're going to be tight-lipped,
Yeah,
they don't know about it.
But it's like
they're doing
really
something
interesting.
right.
I had service come to my house last week, and the guy who came to service my car, he was telling me, he's like, I got to talk to, like, my boss got to talk to Elon Musk, where it's like, he goes, I worked at other car dealerships, and I never talked to anyone important. Like, it was just like, so it's just a different level of communication that happens, and I think it makes a world of difference, right? Like, you really enjoy working for the company, you're not going to go actively leak out their information for the chance of getting fired, right?
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that plays a factor too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so those are all. We're at the 1 hour mark, and we got another 10 minutes, and that'll be it. So we're just going to take 10 minutes to just do some quick viewer questions for this week that some people have sent me, and then we'll wrap it up. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about question wise. I mean,
I
topic
think
wise.
you mentioned something about the Model Y release event or something.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I think.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Quickly, I forgot about that because we didn't have a link for it. Are we expecting anyone here on the panel expecting a delivery event for the Model Y?
I don't think so.
No, I think they're
gonna
just
start
like,
delivering them.
your car's ready, come pick it up. That's it.
Because now my second question with that would be why? I mean, I know it sounds like a pun. I sound like Brian, but why? Like,
That's deep. That's real
yeah,
deep.
that's the why in terms of like, is it because they still want to sandbag this Model Y, or is it because they still don't want to cannibalize? They fear cannibalizing the 3 or even the X.
I think they needed the delivery event for like the Model 3 at the time. And
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't know what the purpose would be of a delivery event right now, other than get people excited for it. But I think they're fine with orders. They're trying to start making them in China. They want to do them in Berlin eventually. So I don't think they're worried about it. It's just, they've really lately have been downplaying things. I mean, the Model Y is so early. You think about the production with Model 3 was such a mess for a while, and then for this one to be 9 months early, it's incredible. But they're really not talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I
I think they're just letting it do its selling itself. It's already on so many pre-orders, and everyone's getting ready. They're already taking care of those orders first. So
yeah, no, and which it is. It's definitely selling itself. Yeah, right.
and then people are going to see it and then say, okay, yeah, now I want one of those. How do I get it? And then put their name on the list.
Yeah, and their marketing machine is this right here. I mean, as soon as people start getting Model Ys, it's going to be all over the place. So they don't really need to do anything.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Okay, let's move on to the questions. Now, like I said, we only have a handful of questions. Ironically, not this Mark, the Backseatballer, but a person named Mark. And I have everyone's platform that emailed me or mentioned it on whatever platform. But unfortunately, Mark, I didn't record what platform he was on. But Mark asked, and it's a very good question. I never thought of that. And when he mentioned it to me, I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty deep. And I can't believe it hasn't come up. You guys tell me if it's come up and I just missed it. His question is, how will there be an airbag for the center front passenger in the Cybertruck? Like, where will the airbag be? Or are they concerned about that center screen being right in front of the center person, the person in that center row for the you know how we all know what we're talking about. I'm talking about, right?
My reply would be, how many times you're really going to be loaded in that truck that they really thought of that.
That's the one selling feature I have for the Cybertruck for my kids. Without that, they have no interest in it.
Really?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to keep them in the? Why would you want them sitting in the front while you're driving?
Well, for my
I'm
daughter
not
right
questioning
now.
your parenthood. I'm asking
No,
a question. Like,
you are questioning, and I'm about to mute you. No, I'm just joking. No, at least with my daughter, I said I forget where it was. Oh, we were coming back from Florida a couple weeks ago, and it was one of those. I didn't mute you. Stop it. And it was one of those things where kids are kids, right? And they're 8 years old and 11 years old, and after about hour 12 of being in the backseat of a Model 3, they sort of got on each other's nerves a little bit, and I turned to my wife, because what she would do is she would go in the backseat and my daughter would come in the front. I said to my wife, I said, you know what? If we had the Cybertruck, this wouldn't be a problem. You could stay in the front seat and we can move one of them to the front seat. Now, my son's a little small to be in the front seat. I wouldn't put him there for safety reasons, but my daughter certainly could. But anyways, that was just a question. Do you have any opinions on that, Franklin, about the airbags?
You gotta think that they thought it through, right?
Oh yeah.
There's they can't say, oh, people aren't going to use it, because someone like yourself will, and there's obviously safety regulations. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but you got to imagine that they have a solution somewhere.
Yeah, well, because you know how Tesla is. They when they design their car or any of their vehicles or trucks in this case, they design everything with safety in the forefront first and foremost. So
it's probably a bad example, but think about the events on the Model 3. It's such a small change, not a small change, it's actually a pretty big change in comparison to what we consider normal events.
Yeah.
So they engineered something completely new just for event system. You got to imagine they're probably doing something with the airbags that is equally safe. I don't know.
No, because listen, if you're a backseat passenger in the middle, same thing. There's no bag
didn't say
for you
baller?
there.
What's that? Sorry, Earl.
You said backseat passenger. I just thought he was going to say baller, but never mind. Don't worry about it. It's not important.
No, it is very important. Thank you very much for plugging me. I appreciate that.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the picture here, and I don't where's the airbag for anybody, really? I don't know. There's just, I don't know where anything goes.
Yeah, that is true. That could be. I mean, speaking of which,
in the back seat, there is none for for the back seat middle seat.
Well, those would be curtains, right? Oh, but no, it wouldn't be a
curtain.
No,
not for the middle. No.
Not for them. Yeah.
So maybe they're assuming that the two sides will blow up and the person in the middle will be sandwiched in. I don't know.
No, because again, the amount of times you have somebody sitting in the middle seat in the back is pretty rare.
Earl,
in my opinion.
Were you
your favorite kid there, Dax?
Okay. That'll change weekly. Earl, did you have an opportunity to go to the Cybertruck event?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Did you have a test ride?
No, I waited for 4 hours and they shut it down.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know what? We were probably
By
the way, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, during the event, Elon says something like, don't worry, everybody will get a ride. We'll keep it open. But that wasn't true. It at a certain time.
Exactly. Now, when they cut it off, how far were you from the front?
It was probably going to be another hour before I got there.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? It's funny. We've never met before, like I was saying earlier in the episode, in the podcast, but we were probably pretty close to each other in line because.
Were you standing near Trevor, or who were you?
I was right next to Trevor. Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, so
Trevor wouldn't leave.
I talked to him a couple times in line.
Really?
Because I was ahead of him, but.
Okay. No, it's funny. Small world, eh? Yeah. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This one is brought to us by someone using the actual that Gmail address I just put up a couple weeks ago, which once again is teslatalksquestions@gmail.com. If you have any questions, or if you want to do a little audio question, just jot it down or record it. Keep it short, like Ryan always says, keep it short if you can, and I will put it on next week's episode. Anyways, this guy named Bryant Webb He's from Raleigh, North Carolina. Another fellow American. They're
No and no.
okay. Well, let me read the question out to the audio listeners.
All right, next. Mark.
Thanks for the question. Brian.
Okay,
Next.
Mark, Mark.
Is it just the lightning round?
Just for that, Mark, I'm going to get you to read this question from Bryant. Go ahead.
This is a question from Bryant Webb. He says this is a two-part question. First question, will they ever offer acceleration boost for the long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3? Franklin.
Yeah, what? And do you think?
Can you please answer Bryant Webb? What is your opinion?
No, I don't think it. I don't think they will.
Earl, what do you think? No, Dax will come to you in a second. Earl.
I don't think so. I don't. I think it's possible they might do what they've already done, where they make it a little bit faster, but I don't see like a big jump that they'll charge us for. I don't know if it's capable of doing that.
Dax, go ahead.
No. Question number 2, Mark?
And the question number 2, and do you think it's even possible to safely offer the acceleration boost on the rear-wheel drive without putting too much strain on the battery or single motor? I think this is a great way for Tesla to generate revenue, and you would think it's possible. They would have done it by now. They would certainly have my money. Thanks, guys. Love Mark, the Backseatballer, and the podcast.
Wait, I
did not say that.
Something's wrong with my screen.
Yes, it must have been cut off on the bottom part. Oh, thanks for reading that, Mark. I should get you to read more questions. But go ahead.
So I actually want to address the second one. I think it's possible that they can increase the speed, but it will definitely affect the battery. So they should offer an option. Jay and I have been going back and forth with this because he's like obsessed with performance.
Jay Pace?
Jay Pace.
Yeah.
An option to,
hey, Jay.
If he's watching this, makes
JJ.
They should offer an option to potentially like not damage the battery, but like not prolong the life of it for the sake of performance. So they should kind of give you that option if you can actually increase performance, right?
Yeah, no.
I don't want it.
You don't have to have
I would have bought.
It's an option.
I'm just saying.
Did you hear what he said?
No, but it shouldn't be. Why did you buy the rear-wheel drive? Because you want the long range.
Performance wasn't available.
Yeah.
Because I'm impatient and I waited 7 days and I
thought
get the interior or the all-wheel drive that I wanted.
Hello. Work. I put my order in 10 minutes. We started out the podcast with this.
It's so true. It's so true.
You could have been like FIL and go and change it. Okay. So he wanted the performance. He went and did it. You guys have no excuses. I'm okay with having more range and less power.
You know what? Just what's the next question here?
Okay,
I read the question. I can answer it my way.
Yes. The next question, Mark.
Sorry for yelling.
You can read this one too. This is from Greg Hill. Go ahead, Mark.
This is Greg Hill, and he would like to ask, would like some opinion on this autopilot rewrite. It should actually be a hyphen in there, by the way, Greg. Will it only fix
Greg.
FSD for hardware 3.0, or will 2.5 also get fixed with basic autopilot? Earl, let's start with you.
I think we sort of answered this, didn't we?
I don't really have time for these 2.5 people, to be honest.
Oh, no.
How do we kick him out?
Excuse me, Dax, can we please mute that American?
No, he's our special guest, guys. I can only mute the Canadians.
All right, I'm going to Twitter and blocking him and putting it on bad tweet about right now.
Okay, while you do that, read question number 2 from Greg, please.
Okay, so hold on. Can I answer question 1 first?
No.
Yep.
No.
So I think what they're doing with the rewrite will only affect really 3.0 people, like for actual features and changes. Because, like I mentioned last time, they've exceeded the limitations of 2.5 from a technical standpoint. Like, they can probably do more with it, but you don't want to push it.
I think that's good news. I think that's good. I mean, it sucks for people not. I mean, hopefully everybody gets their upgrade soon, but I think it's a good sign if they've outgrown 2.5. So then now they're really using 3.0. That is a good sign for them moving forward towards FSD.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Mark, second part of Greg's question.
Oh, wow. Okay. Greg Hill with a second question. Another question. people in China are getting some cars with hardware 2.5, as there is not enough supply for the 3.0 chip. It's actually not a chip, it's a full computer. So Tesla is doing the free upgrade, which I think, sorry, now I'm reading on. Is this going to happen for people that bought their cars after April and got 2.5, but were expecting 3.0? I would attach the link, but doesn't seem to allow me to. Well, Greg, I'm going to start off by saying no. I mean, unless you bought FSD, you will not be upgraded to the hardware 3.0. That's why they did it in China. I think that was kind of defeats the purpose, because now you're going back and you have to do work again on those cars.
Yeah, well, I think Tesla, and that news just came out yesterday or today. I think Tesla explained it properly, the reason why that happened. And I don't know if it had anything to do with the shutdown and just lack of supply coming in at the time. But I think it's a kind of a blunder on their end, but it's fixable, and they'll fix it, and they'll get everyone on board with 3.0. It's just gonna, like Mark says, just a little more work for them at the end of the day.
See, here's the thing.
But look, we already know it's a day's work. That's a lot of effort.
Mark, it's a day's work here. In China, that's like 30 minutes. Look what they did with Gigafactory 3.
That's true.
Yeah. And yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah. And look how slow Gigafactory Canada's coming along.
Yeah.
Real slow.
What do you mean real slow? I've been chopping down, getting the whole platform ready. I've been digging and you don't know?
Really?
My backyard all set.
Yeah, but is there bats mating in
Everybody's
your
a
trees?
lumberjack up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
you know me, lumberjack. I got the whole force on here. Okay?
maple syrup.
The Mounties.
Yeah, he's
Those
storing
mounties.
all the dog manure so he can build the forest again.
Exactly. Yeah, that's around the factory once I'm done, right?
You guys kill me. And you know what? I think that that's it for the questions. So thank you very much for all those
only
guys.
Two?
Well, we're all.
Or actually four.
There was
Technically,
four. There was four. Yeah, I limited it because I knew that we were going to go a little bit long, and we're already an hour and 16 minutes in. And like I said, I promised to make sure the show doesn't go past Mark's bedtime and stuff like that. So it's now 11:35, which is probably 7 a.m. for you there, Earl.
Yeah, 6:35. Yep. That's
Still
early.
Day soon. We're gonna end our day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice how things work,
Exactly. Well, thank you very, very much. I sound like a broken record, like I said. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. Did you have fun, Earl?
I had a great time. I had a great time. I hope everybody else did too.
Yeah. Well, speaking for myself and these two monkeys here, I think we had a good time, and we thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully, it won't be the first and last time. Hopefully, you can come on again.
I'd love to.
We'll just leave Mark at home or something. Or maybe we'll get
a different.
It was
okay. It
screens.
was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. You've had better, right, Mark?
No, I haven't. I'm so happy that I was actually here. Thank you so much, honestly, Dax,
No.
Franklin, Earl.
Hey,
It's been a pleasure
before
to
I
be
go,
here with
can
you all
I
tonight.
just show off? So I don't know if you know Wade Anderson on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No.
Wade.
Yeah, of course
Okay,
we
so-
know him.
He got my address, and he sent me these socks.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Okay, if anyone is listening to the audio portion of this podcast, stop what you're doing right now and pull up YouTube, pull up episode 6. You have to go at the 118 mark and check out those socks that Earl just put up there.
So
I laughed so hard when I opened it. The other ones are Norman. They're Norman on socks and my referral code. I didn't bring those, but
Yeah, I was
Did
gonna
it
say, how come he didn't put his referral code on the other one?
I know. I thought he would, but he told me that he actually selected another design and that they screwed it up and put the Santa hat on him. But I don't know if I believe him.
So it's true. There's a whole backstory. So Wade and I are actually on Twitter talking about these socks before they got to you. So we're talking about how to get them, where to get them to you, and what to put on them. And Wade's such a creative guy, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you actually received them yet, which is
It's pretty funny because it's a big deal here. People receive boxes, so it's just one of the greatest things. So you get a box and you usually open it in front of other people and kind of share what you got. Like, oh look, I got cookies and stuff, and I like pull out these ridiculous socks and just like I don't even explain this.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
did you
but my
get
buddy
an
was in the
extra set of
Navy,
those?
and same thing. I'd send him and all the boys there lots of things all the time.
Stuff that we can't talk about on a family podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, Earl, do you receive like a lot of stuff from him?
Pretty regularly. Not a lot of stuff, but pretty regularly. Yeah, like
Okay.
He said he's popular. Come on.
So no, I'm just
Well,
wondering,
that's
are you
true.
like the popular
I said
person
I
there?
am.
Are you the
My
popular
opinion.
person there with boxes receiving stuff?
No, actually. I mean, there's people that get a lot of boxes.
Okay, everyone
So.
who's watching this, reach out to me on Twitter. We're gonna fix this.
Yes. We can't post anything, but yeah, get a hold of Franklin and yeah, we'll do
I'll
something.
take care of the detail. Yeah.
I'm
I've
good.
already
on socks.
started. I've already started. You see, it's for you.
Yay.
So Earl, in closing, once again, thanks for coming on. Where can people find you if they've never even heard about you before, which I find hard to believe, especially people that are listening or watching the podcast. Where can they find you on Twitter or anywhere online?
Where I am most frequently is on Twitter. It's at 28 delays later. And then there's also frunkpuppy.com, which has some stories and some merch and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, check it out.
Perfect. I'll put a link in the description below for all these, all the guests' websites and handles and stuff like that. Mark, where can people find you?
On Twitter, it's Trevlin006, and on YouTube, just Tesla Backseatballer.
And Franklin?
Or Mississauga, Toronto, Ontario.
I like the background now, Franklin. Where can people find you?
You can find me as Mother Frunker on YouTube or M Frunker on Twitter. Please reach out to me. We want to fill all these boxes for Earl.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's awesome. Earl, have you ever thought of YouTube?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have a YouTube just with a couple videos on there of the dogs and stuff, but I always want to and think about it, but I admire the folks like you who follow through and do this every week. I'm just too lazy, I guess.
Well, no, you're not too lazy because I'm pretty lazy and I end up doing this. it does take some time, so it's not for everybody. But buddy, if you ever did start up a YouTube channel, you've got a subscriber here at least. Yeah, because I'd be very interested. Yeah,
one down.
I didn't want to speak for you on behalf of you guys.
You got three.
You
got three. Come on.
You're saying he's not going to subscribe?
My mom would probably join.
Okay, so four. He's only got 996 left to go before he monetizes himself. Did you have anything?
Well, speaking of that, and speaking of Wade, I think today, because this morning he said he needed half an hour, and I watched him for like 15 or 20 minutes, so I think he's finally monetized.
Oh, awesome.
Congrats.
Anything else you guys want to add before we head on out and give the day back to everyone else that's listening?
No.
Cool.
Goodbye.
I thought you.
I have something, but it's got to be off. I do have something to say, but
okay, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Once again, we will see you here next week. Next week, yeah, pretty sure next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.